The graphic arts in general, and the field of colour in particular, has many specialist terms and its fair share of jargon. So before we begin working with colour, let's define some of those terms that I'll be using frequently. I'm going to limit myself to the colour terms that Photoshop uses, the first of which is hue, which is synonymous with colour. When we use terms like red, green, yellow, we are describing the hue. Together with saturation and brightness, the hue is one of the three distinct attributes that makes up the qualities of a colour. If we look at the colour picker, the hue can be adjusted by moving the vertical colour slider up and down, and you can see that the numbers here are changing, and they're changing to reflect the colour's angle around the colour wheel. The second of our triumvirate of hue, saturation and brightness is saturation, which together with hue and brightness describes a colour. Specifically, this relates to the purity of the colour and how much white content there is in the colour. If we look at the colour picker, I'll put my colour right there in the middle of the colour field, and if I move to the right, I am increasing the saturation. We have less white content, and if I move to the left, I am decreasing the saturation. We have more white content. This is also referred to as the tint of a colour. The next term is the brightness, synonymous with luminance. Sometimes the HSB colour model is referred to as the HSL, hue, saturation and luminance colour model, and this is the perceived intensity of light or dark in the colour. The brightness is related to how much black content there is in the colour. And back to the colour picker, if I move up, I'm making the colour brighter, and if I move down, I'm making the colour darker. Value is the grey value of a colour when the colour is desaturated or when the image is converted to the grayscale colour mode. We'll see that red and green have the same value, as do cyan and yellow. If I come to the info panel, I currently have my second colour to read grey values. The grey value of the red is 69%, the same as that of the green. If I move over what was formerly the cyan, its grey value is 48%. Likewise, the grey value of the yellow is 48%. So those are the terms that I'll be using frequently throughout this course: hue, saturation, brightness, and value.